Okay, I'm gonna hope that these aren't questions that you haven't heard 1,000 times already.
All right, I'll
And
try
if
not to be super awkward.
okay, me too. Okay, so it's Kyle, right? Am I allowed to call you that? Or
Yeah.
okay. Um, so what was your inspiration behind Blackout?
Um. Honestly, it was kind of an accident. Um. So it gets over a little over a year ago. I was throwing a little Halloween party for some friends, and figured it might be cool to throw a little VR horror game together. Um. So I did that, and it was kind of meh, but kind of worked on it a little more in my free time for fun. Posted it online, and people were like, "Hey, this is pretty cool." Um, so I kind of had the idea to make it SCP themed because I was rolling the SCP back then. So kind of just kept working on it, expanding it, and people online kept supporting it and pushing me. And at some point, it just kind of transitioned into a full game where I just kept working on it more and more. And here we are now.
That's cool. So did you want to become a game developer like for that game specifically, or was there other stuff before that, like projects or?
So I've been learning Unreal and programming and stuff for maybe 6 years now. I worked on some other projects and another game that didn't pan out. But yeah, I've started a bunch of projects that were functional, playable, and kind of fun, but didn't have any models, so they were just ugly. So it never really gained any attraction. But now the
Okay.
Unreal Marketplace has developed enough that I was able to start buying assets to kind of throw some stuff together. And as I get funds, I've been able to buy more and more for the game until it actually looks like a pretty decent game. Just kind of kit bashing it all together.
Okay. Uh, was there any inspiration for the SCPs, like from like movies or other games or something, or were these just things off the top of your head that you worked on?
Kind of a mix of things. It was kind of some ideas that might be cool. The biggest limitation is yeah, we don't have a modeler, like I said, so I would have to find things I could turn into SCPs from the marketplace. So
Hmm.
that's generally how most of our custom SCPs are designed, or what can we get, and then how do we make a story fit this in
Yeah.
um, with decent gameplay mechanics.
Yeah. Um, this is kind of a joke question, but I kind of wanted to ask anyways. Why would you like to punch a child?
Because they're dumb. Probably deserve it.
Fair enough. um, so when you had your accident, were you at all like if you had any thoughts going on about the game, like were you worried about the future game at all, or like your future?
Would you, during the accident, I only had about 6 or 7 seconds of consciousness before it crushed me unconscious, and I didn't really have time to think on too much.
Okay.
It was one of the more prominent thoughts was just how random it was, and out of all the ways I could have died, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was just a random thing, and then yeah, I blacked out.
Oh.
So yeah, I didn't even have time to like really think about my family or game or much of anything other than what was happening in the moment.
Uh, well, I mean, I'm glad you're okay. Because I
Yeah, yeah,
remember
me too.
I played the okay, my computer did a weird thing. I remember playing the demo back in like June, and I thought it was pretty cool. Like it was a cool concept. It was just it wasn't very like polished, but it was an interesting idea. And then I remember thinking about it back in I think last month. Yeah, it was last month. I remember thinking about it, and I was looking at it, and I saw that the Steam forum or the Steam announcement thing on the game's page about your accident. And I was like, oh, crap. But it's good to know you're okay.
Yeah, that would have been pretty weird because my wife's not super tech savvy, so she wouldn't have even known how to let anyone know. I would have just disappeared off the internet, just
Oof.
out of nowhere. She'd be like, "Oh, I took the money and ran."
Yeah. Uh, so what is SCP Illustrated and Fulgen's role in the game besides voice acting?
Um, that's pretty much it. This is kind of cameos right
Oh,
now.
okay.
They're I would like to work with them, but they're a bit too busy to. Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into the game dev stuff, so I don't want to pester them since they're kind of growing their.
Yeah. Um,
Although still, as far as I know, it's still planned for Volgan to play Dr. Miller as like one of the main characters in a lot of voice lines, and
yeah.
I'd like to make SCP Illustrated into bigger characters for the story too.
Yeah. Um, what are you most proud of so far regarding the game's development?
Probably just how big it's gotten, and that I don't know, the quality, and that people seem to like it and have fun. Because like this technically is my first game,
It is
so
fun.
it, yeah, it's an interesting experience.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Glad I haven't given up on it, or that it didn't turn out to be crap, or anything that people dislike it. It's just, I don't know, just the whole thing overall, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, like, um, I think I kind of like that about early access is that it doesn't really become a problem if there's bugs because because it's no one's fault because it's in early access for a reason, so no one can really complain if there's anything like buggy about it because it's obviously being worked on.
Thing probably could spend the time to get rid of all the bugs, but then there's
Yeah.
no progress being made, so it's like you gotta weird kind of trying to balance adding new stuff while also fixing old stuff. But every
Yeah.
time you add new stuff, it makes more issues, and it's
Yeah.
just a lot of back and forth.
Is beside and speaking of glitches, well, okay, but besides like the bugs and glitches, is there anything that you feel could be better about it?
Um, well, when I originally designed the game, it was the full scope of the game was going to be smaller than their survival is or was. Probably like it's smaller than it was when it released as early access. So
Yeah.
as I'm expanding the game and the quality with like me and Jory coming up with things, I have to kind of redesign the map and the flow of things, the mechanics to kind of fit the original what was there, and rework it so it can be expanded. So it's yeah, we had like a full story written out, and we just decided to scrap the whole thing because it was made for that small map, and honestly, it wasn't really going to be that good, especially for how the rest of the quality of the game is. It felt lacking. So now we're redoing it all. So yeah, just pretty much just redesigning the whole thing so it can be bigger. That makes sense.
Yeah. Um, and then I have the final few questions I have are about story mode, and so if there's anything that you don't feel like answering, I won't make you. I hope I don't have any like too classified questions, but
No worries.
um, but are we going to be playing as D1742 the entirety of story mode, or is there going to be like other perspectives or?
Um, for this game, yeah, I think it'll just be D1742.
Uh, how long do you think story mode will be?
hard to say because right now it's written out as 16 different endings. So
Oh wow.
each one playthrough. I mean, if you know what you're doing, probably pretty quick. But to do all of them, I think it'll add up. And
Yeah.
with the story mode, we're not using the current map at all. You might be able to go through parts of this map, but it's gonna be somewhat more linear. So each level area is gonna be custom designed for that. So it's gonna be a lot more cinematic, kind of like the intro.
Okay.
So I guess as you learn what to do, it'll be quicker. But yeah, it's gonna be kind of a lot to do, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's hard to gauge the amount of time it takes people.
Yeah. It took me a while to get through story mode, or not story, survival mode.
I am planning to rework survival mode coming up after we
Yeah.
catch up on things because it seems a bit short, and I kind of want to expand those areas. Now that I know that we're doing story mode in different levels, I want to expand the levels that are currently there in survival and give them a point. But yeah, that's coming up soon.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be a mode other than survival or story, like a free roam mode or stuff like that? That's the only example I could think of, but
The tutorial is kind of coming up to completion. I don't think we're gonna do it free.
my Discord
I'm not a fan of just being able to kind of go around.
my Discord froze up for a second. I didn't hear most of what you said.
Yeah, like the tutorial is kind of its own little game mode, with a little story with like 2 different endings. Although it's pretty simple.
Tutorial has multiple endings too.
Yeah, just 2. But we're finishing that up. But I don't think I'm gonna add in like a free roam or anything because that's always felt just kind of cheaty to me, pointless.
Yeah, that's true.
So for this game, no.
Um, okay, that I didn't write this down, but like I thought of it because you keep saying this game. Like, is there going to be others related to Blackout?
I think it broke up. I didn't hear you.
You keep saying this game. Will there be others related? Will there be other games that are related to Blackout?
So what we have planned, I've kind of worked on it some, is it's not really a sequel. It's more like a 1.5, and it's SCP Site 50 stories, and it's
Ooh.
just of a bunch of events kind of surrounding the Site 50 breach. So there'll be like other areas of the facility. It's kind of some like story mode missions on like the when they initially discover or contain some of the SCPs, like Master Mass. But that whole game is going to be only multiplayer, so it's like some like little co-op games or co-op stories, or some people can play as the SCPs versus like MTF or
So kind
I
of
have one
like
game.
Secret Laboratory.
Yeah, but kind of more game modes.
Yeah.
There's one I'm excited about is MTF versus Master Mass. So
Ooh.
like one team gets to play as like the different Master Mass entities, and their goal is to like expand the flesh, so like they can actually grow the flesh to the level they can go through vents and stuff. Whereas soldiers, like, they'll try to keep the power on. They can use doors and like lock down doors, set up turrets and stuff, and like it's kind of like the map will like go back and forth as like each side tries to expand their territory, sort of thing.
That kind of sounds like GTFO mixed with the multiplayer on Dead Space 2.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I have a bunch of different kind of game modes like that, which they're like, some of them are vaguely functional, but I haven't really had the time to put into it because I want to finish Blackout. Otherwise, I'll get sucked into something else and stop working on it.
Yeah. Will any of the story missions be? Well, I mean, I kind of got my answer, but one of the ones I wrote down was, will there be any story missions related to the ARG Easter eggs, like about the like the future events of like the whole end of the world scenario?
There will be more in Blackout, but I'm not sure about Site 50. Haven't thought that far ahead.
Okay. Uh, and I already got the answer to this last question. um, so that's everything that I wrote down. Is there anything else that you want to say or talk about?
Um, not not particularly. There's a lot of changes I plan on coming up. It's just takes time to do this in my free time,
Yeah,
but eventually it'll get there.
yeah. All right. This has been very informative.
I appreciate you taking the time and interest in interviewing me.
No problem. Yeah, I learned a lot. It was actually really interesting talking about it because I learned a lot more than I thought I would. All right. Well, thank you.
Hi, thank you.
I'll see you around.
See ya.